today I did a really pretty glittery shimmery brown smoky eye, and I wanted to add something different to it, so I added some blue mascara to my lower lash line. I wanted to be a little more creative with this look and not do a basic brown smoky eye. And I also thought with the pigtails it would look cute somehow. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button if you want to see more glittery, shimmery, and fun looks such as this. If you want to see how to get this look, then please keep watching. Okay guys, so first I am going to go in with the shade Mousse. And I'm using my Real Techniques base shadow brush. I already primed my eyes as well. So I'm just using this as my base shadow. And I'm just going to put it in my crease as well. I'm going to blend that out using my Real Techniques blending brush. I just like to blend this out just to avoid any rough edges around my eyes. And then I'm going to go in with that same base shadow brush using this shade Put In. And I'm using the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette as well. I'm going to take a little bit of that and just go into my crease. So I don't want it to be like a super dark brown, but I just want to add a little bit of a chocolatey brown look to it. Then I'm going to blend that out. Okay, and then once that's blended in, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that shade Put In and just put it on the outer V of my eye. Dab that on there. Blend that in. And then I'm going to take the shade Truffled. Just take a little bit of that and just dab that onto my outer V in the corner of my eye as well. I just want this to be a brown smoky eye and just to have it be a mix of all different brown shades. And then I'm going to take this brush I got from Emax Brushes, and I'm going to use Rum Raisin. And I think this is a really pretty shade. It's a really cool toned, kind of shimmery shade. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to dab that onto my inner eyelid like so. I'm just dabbing that too, I'm not like rubbing it in. Then I'm just going to blend that out very lightly using my blending brush. And now I'm going to take this really beautiful shade called 3, and it's the Super Shock Shadow by ColourPop. And I really like this too. I think it really complements a brown smoky eye because it's a really pretty cool toned brown with almost purple specks in it. So pretty. Honestly, this is probably one of the most beautiful brown shades I've ever seen because I really like glittery, shimmery shades, and this is like a mix of glitter and shimmer, so I think it's so pretty. And then I'm going to go in with my Maybelline eyeliner in the shade Black is Black, and I'm going to take this angled brush by Emax Brushes, and I'm just going to dip this in the pot. And I want to line my upper lash line, just give it kind of just like a little thin black line. I don't want anything too thick because I don't want to detract the attention from the brown shimmer. So I'm just going to very gently create a black line on my upper lash line. And then I'm just going to take this thick brush and then I'm going to use the shade Put In. I'm just going to gently dab this on and line it on my lower lash line. And I wanted to use a larger brush for this just because I don't want it to be a precise line. I want it to have kind of a smudged look. And then I'm going to blend that bottom lash line in. And then I'm going to go in with my Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced in the shade Black. And I'm going to use this just for my upper lash line. Oh, and then one thing I forgot also is I'm going to take that shade 3 in the Super Shock, can't hardly say that, Super Shock Shadow. And I'm just going to put this on my inner lower lash line just to give it a little bit of a shine. And then for my inner corners, I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Highlighting Palette. And I'm just going to use this bright shade right here. They don't have names, but I'm using that shade. I wanted to use more of like a brown for like a, not like a pinky color, more like a brownish gold color. I'm going to use the Benefits Mascara Blue Mascara. Wait, I'm going to use the Benefits Cosmetics Blue Mascara for my lower lash line. And I thought this would be pretty to add because I wanted to do something more interesting and more creative than just a basic brown smoky eye. My Semi-Sweet Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette and use the shade Put In. Just gonna put that in my eyebrow. I'm pretty casual with my eyebrows. I don't really like to have too much of a defined line in my brow. I don't really like that. I'm not really a fan of that super fake brow look, the super defined line. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Coconut Cream, and I'm going to use this for my brow bone, just under my eyebrow, just to give it a little highlight. And now guys, I'm going to contour my face using the Wet n Wild contouring palette. And I'm just going to dig in with this brown shade right here. And I don't really like to use foundation too often, so I like to use bronzer though. I love bronzer, or I love contouring, bronzing, all that good stuff. I don't know, like sometimes I do wear foundation, but usually when I do, I feel like I have a mask on my face and I don't really like how that feels. So it probably could be because I need to find a less heavier foundation, a more lighter one. I'm still looking for that. I really like to go under the jawline to define the jawline. Then I'll go my forehead. And I'm going to highlight my face today using the Physicians Formula Highlight Palette. And I'm going to be using this shade right here. And I'm actually, for this, I'm going to take my crease brush from the Sephora collection. And I'm actually going to be using this to highlight my face. Right on my cheeks. I figured the highlight would look nice with the shimmery smoky eye. One thing I want to say to you guys is before I started this, I put concealer under both eyes, some right here, concealer down the bridge of my nose, right here, in my chin. So I just didn't film that today. And then my Cupid's bow. And for this look, I'm not going to really put any blush on. I also don't always use blush too often because my face gets red really easily. So I tend to blush very easily, so I don't really like to use blush that much. And now I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Echo Park. And I really like this shade a lot. It's like, it's a pinkish nude color, but it almost looks like it has a brown tint to it.